Hello and welcome back to another Total War Warhammer replay. In this game I'm playing against Hubert J. Farnsworth. He's actually a very good player. I think he's in the top 100 in multiplayer. He's a very good opponent. He's not a cheesy faggot as well. He actually fucking plays very smart. He's very good at micromanaging, using his spells, and of course just being an all-round good player. He's not a cheesy player, so it's always fun when playing up against him. He's playing TombKings and I'm playing Greenskins. This is possibly one of the hardest matchups in Total War Warhammer because Greenskins really do struggle against TombKings. I think the other two matchups that I would say are very difficult is Dwarfs versus Wood Elves and Beastmen versus Vampire Counts. But as for my build, I've gone with Night Goblins in the front line. I had 3 of them, and I also had the Warlord Boys. These guys are immune to psychology, so they're going to stand and fight pretty much for a much longer time. But yeah, they have a bit better stats, and yeah, so I took them there. I also took the Rusty Arrows, which of course have Armor Sundering and Stalk. All these units in the front line have Stalk, which is very nice. I also have the Nasty Skrulkers, which are they basically have Armor Piercing, they have Stalk, and they also have the Smoke Bomb, which basically reduces charge speed and speed of any unit that basically comes into contact with it, pretty much. As for, basically dealing with the large construct, I had to go heavy, because against TombKings, that's how they beat you, with all their large units. So I've taken 2 Orc Boy Biggins on either side, and I've taken 2 Arachnarok Spiders. Now, these guys now have anti-large, so they're actually relatively decent against TombKings now. I've got 2 of them, 1 on either side as well. In the back over here, I do have the Regiment of Renown Goblin Wolf Riders, the Moon Howlers. These guys just have a bit better stats. They also have a Vanguard, and they're just a bit better armor. And they have shields here, so they're basically going to try and get into the back line on any of the units. As for my Lord, I have gone with a Night Goblin Warboss. This guy, I mean, this was a very risky pick. I wasn't sure how this was going to play out. But he's got the Tormentor's Sword, which of course minus 26 melee attack, but also it cannot move. So very useful, maybe pinning down those large constructs. And he's got Get Back In Here, which is plus 26 leadership. And he's got the Spite of the Bad Moon, which of course is some missile parry with a shield, and yeah, so not bad. As for my opponent though, Hubert J. Farnsworth, this is his normal build of taking out Greenskins. I've played against it before once more. He has 2 War Sphinxes. These things are just fucking, oh my god, like, the amount of armor, the armor pierce, and the anti-infantry, they cause terror. They're just really good. So hard to pin down. I mean, they basically wreck all, you take Black Orcs against them, they're going to get wrecked. So very hard to beat. 2 of them as well, very hard to pin down. In his front line, he's gone for Tomb Guard, 4 Tomb Guard, which of course is very good as well. He's gone for the Shabbaty Great Bow, not the Regiment of Renown, just the normal ones. These guys are really good taking out the Piggy Riders over there, the anti-large Piggy Riders, so they can do a lot of damage to those guys. In the back here, he's got 4 Spearmen, just Skeleton Spearmen, and he's got 2 Skeleton Archers. As for his Lord, he's got the Grand Herotant Cadet, I believe. Oh my god, I can't pronounce this guy's name. But yeah, he's got some nice spells. I believe he's got, he took the Invocation of Cursed Blades. He's got the Leech's Staff. And yeah, he's got Sandstorm as well. So he's got a few nice abilities in there. And he's taken a Necrotech. So of course he's going to be getting those heals and buffs on his 2 Walk Sphinxes. Oh, in the back I did also have, I completely forgot about these units. Why am I being an idiot? I had a Night Goblin Shaman as well. The reason I took this guy is because I believe I took Gork Will Fix It, which of course lowers charge bonus, speed, and charge speed. So I was really trying to pin down a lot of his units. And I had a Goblin Rock Lobber in the back here. So let's get right in. So my main plan was, okay, I've got these Night Goblins here, I'm going to try and get them into the front line, and then I'm going to back them up with the Orc Boys here, and sort of like, if he tries to charge you with his War Sphinxes, I'm actually going to be able to sort of, do some damage back. I am sending the Gob Rocker, or the Goblin, thrower, whatever it is, the Goblin Rock Lobber, on some of his Spearmen, but he does charge him with one of his War Sphinxes, and I start getting the Orc Boy Biggins in there, starting to get some nice damage on his War Sphinx. But as I say, with a Necrotech, he's already cast Invocation of Curse, which of course gives armor piercing, bonus versus large, so he's already doing a shit ton of damage to my piggies. But I've got some Nasty Skrulkers in there, do use the Smoke Bomb of course to pin them down. Over here the front line is engaging Night Goblins versus Tomb Guard. They actually won't win that engagement. Tomb Guard will hold very hard. And he's basically holding a War Sphinx in reserve. Over here though, we do get a nice catch. The Arachnarok Spider is coming in. The first one is coming in to try and help out. I do cast Gork will fix it, and I have the smoke bomb on this guy to really try and keep him in place. As you can see, the War Sphinx has got 7 speed right now, so I'm really trying to hold him in place. But it does bring the first Tomb Guard up here. Over here, my other piggies are looking for a target at the moment. They can't quite get on that War Sphinx because I don't really want them fighting against Tomb Guard. I do catch a lucky break though, and I do get one of the Arachnarok spiders right in and start attacking as a Savage Great Bow, which was very, very nice for me. But it does bring some spearmen in to actually help as well. Over here though, both War Sphinxes are just tearing up my front line and doing a lot of damage. Over here though, the Night Goblin Shaman is getting a bit caught out, but both Arachnarok spiders here are fighting both War Sphinxes, so we've got a bit of a battle going on between all these large units. He has some spearmen in here though, which is really, really helping, but at the moment, I'm just trying to pin down these War Sphinxes and do as much damage. I do see his Lord here, and I do try and catch his Lord out a little bit here. Probably not a good idea, really trying to focus it, but we've done a lot of damage to one of his War Sphinxes, and we've done a little bit of damage to the other one. My spiders are taking damage, and I do put my Lord out because he was taking some damage here. I do cast another, well, I do not cast, but I've used both of my buffs here. The Rusty Arrows are shooting against his War Sphinx using that Armor Sundering over there. But over here, one War Sphinx is attacking my Arachnarok spider, and he does have some spearmen in here helping, so, you know, I am trying to do some, you know, as much damage as I can to these guys, but as I say, this is such a hard matchup for me. Unfortunately, my Goblin Howlers or my Moon Howlers are fighting against some spearmen, which is really, really bad for me. Over here, this Arachnarok spider is fighting against some Tomb Guard and the Necrotech, so I was trying to get the Necrotech offline because I knew that this guy was just going to heal and keep giving them buffs, so I knew I had to shut down that as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, over here, my piggies are routing off because they're fighting Tomb Guard, and it's just so hard to get them in because there's just so many units here tying them down. Very, very hard. Over here, though, I do have Itchy Nuisance again on this guy, which does minus 25 weapon damage and minus 6 melee attack, which is a nice buff on this guy, but Arachnarok Spider is still doing some nice damage, but caught him with the Spearman, it's not really great. Over here, the other Arachnarok Spider is taking some serious damage. I am trying to still do some nice damage to his Lord, but unfortunately, the hitbox on this can be a bit hard. Over here, though, we do sort of send the War Sphinx again onto the Arachnarok Spider, trying to get some nice damage again. And the thing is, I generally think that Arachnarok Spiders against War Sphinxes probably would win that matchup one-on-one, but with all these other units here, it's very, very hard to tie them down. Over here, though, we've got some Nasty Skulkers coming back in. We do have some Night Goblins here fighting against some Spearmen, which is actually quite an ideal engagement for me. This Arachnarok Spider is 1v1 this War Sphinx and doing a lot of damage, but they're just so tanky. I mean, War Sphinxes take ages to kill, especially with 2 Arachnarok Spiders. Over here, my other one is getting a bit tied down by I mean, these of Shouty Great Bow are just doing so much damage. They have so much armor piercing and armor piercing missiles, so they're just doing really, really nice work. Over here, my piggies are trying to do some damage to the War Sphinx, and I do bring the Nasty Skulkers back in, but as I say, they can only do so much. They don't have the best leadership, so they're not going to stay in the fight, you know, against a War Sphinx forever. Over here, though, we do get some Nasty Skulkers on his Lord, trying to do some nice damage, but he does have some Tomb Guard to answer that. Over here, we've got some Night Goblins coming back in. I think this was a poor mistake. Okay, I made a big mistake here bringing the Goblin Rock Lobber on a target over there. I think they were shooting at the Skeleton Spearmen, so it was pretty bored me. I've got to put them on guard mode. I should have done that. Over here, though, the Arachnarok Spider does route back on, and I do have some Orc Boy Big Guns over here. I do believe I start sending them back over to these Unshabity Great Bow, trying to get them as well. Over here, though, this Arachnarok Spider has been fighting like a true champ and actually is winning against that War Sphinx. It's got minus leadership and is starting to decay. I do cast another Gork will fix it to slow down all these units here. And I do believe I start sending my unit to try and get the final hit on that War Sphinx because I saw how low it was, and it only has 650 HP. So I do believe I send my my little Night Goblin War Boss here on this little squig to try and kill it down. I do send the Arachnarok Spider back onto that War Sphinx, but as you can see, balance of power is my opponent's favour. And I do believe I use, yes, I do use Tormentor's Sword to slow it here and use minus its 26 melee attack. So 35 HP. I do pack it out because I saw how much damage this thing can do, and it does decay. So that is one War Sphinx down thing, which was absolutely terrific. But the other War Sphinx, I mean, this thing is just absolutely molesting my front line, taking out the Rusty Arrows. Over here, these Tomb Guard are actually fighting against piggies, and I'm trying to get these Night of Shavity Great Bow offline, but they just do so much damage. This spider over here is chasing down this War Sphinx, but as I say, like, War Sphinxes are just so fast. I mean, spiders are fast as well. They actually do. War Sphinxes actually do outspeed spiders, which is kind of surprising. But I get these units in here. I got the piggies on the War Sphinx trying to finish it, because I thought to myself, okay, if I can take out the other War Sphinx, then I might have a chance of winning this. And this spider's some pretty good leadership, but he's bringing in some 2-guard. He has raised, you know, his Shavity here, which is very, very worrying. Over here, you know, I'm trying to shut down this Shavity Greatbow with these Moonhounders, but they're just going to get caught up by all these Spearmen and all these Archers and stuff, and they just won't win that engagement as well. My Lord, very, very low on health and could pretty much rout any second, because he is shooting at him with all his arrows, which is very, very bad for me. I do have some natty Skrulkers over there coming back in, but unfortunately, my Spider is fighting all these Tomb Guard and stuff, and unfortunately, Shavity actually have decent mass and actually could hold this guy in place, which I wasn't surprised about. I thought the Arachnoid Spider would have decent mass and be able to get out of there, but unfortunately, he is being held down by the Shavity, so that was really unfortunate. My other Arachnoid Spider does come back in here. I don't want to level leadership very, very low, only 1,000 health, so, I wasn't expecting him to do much. I am sort of coming around with these piggies. I was trying to get into his Shavity Greatbow with these piggies, but as I say, very, very hard to do. He is sort of setting his War Sphinx over here onto my Rusty Arrows still, and unfortunately, both my Spiders just don't have much health left. They're about to rout, which is really unfortunate. Over here, I do believe I send my Lord in as a final attempt to sort of, like, take out these arrows because they were doing so much damage. He sends his Grand Necro Sphex in and his Necrotech, and unfortunately, it's just not enough. My Lord does rout, and both my Spiders rout, and unfortunately it was a loss, but very well played to Hubert J. Farnsworth. It's a really, really hard fight for Greenskins and against TombKings. I think I might do a video talking about the hardest matchups in Total Warhammer, because I think it's an interesting one, but very well played to Hubert J. Farnsworth. I love playing against him. He's such a fun opponent. He actually plays really fair, and I'm trying to improve my Greenskins versus TombKings, and I think that wasn't alright. I think there was a few things I might have done differently. I think I would have taken maybe a different Lord, maybe a caster. I might have taken Foot of Gork as well. That might have been much larger because he was kind of bunched up there, sort of doing a Death Star on me. So if I had Foot of Gork, that might have done a bit better. But it's hard to say. I think I might have also taken the Arachnoid Queen Spider. Those poison hatchlings could have probably done a lot more damage. So maybe I would have taken that next time. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.